offer that we're making to the school to help them.
There's only 30 parking spots.
There's only, we did
There's
a,
5 parking spots set aside for students.
correct, we did a study survey last year and the year before, there was only about 20 being used at the time.
I mean, the graduated class has got to be over 100. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
not all kids drive, or
150, and not all kids drive. Some kids, my own kids I used to make fun of all the time, they live closer to the high school than they parked when they went to park to the high school. You know, some kids just don't have a car or don't
your
park.
daughters used to drive to school,
They did, unfortunately.
and they could have, like 2 blocks.
It's less than 2 blocks.
But I mean, here you are, employees in the town,
Yep,
only 50 spots.
not in town, not employees in town, employees of people who work, oh, when you say in town, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're paying $50 a month. Were they ever paying before?
No, but we have other things going on in Pompton.
So that's $600 a year.
Or their management will pay for it, or their won't park.
Thank you, Paul.
Residents are $100 a month.
No, the residents who live in,
Resident permits, $100 per month, and $150 per
or what?
150 per
Right, but that's mostly set for the apartments that are coming in, they're buying spots for their residents to live there.
It just seems out of control for me because I grew up in town, and we've been parking in a pond hole for free for so long. And to have students pay and have employees pay now.
Well, students have always paid.
Most of the employees are minimum wage employees.
Yes.
Now it's $600 a year out of their salary.
Well, yeah, Councilman is mentioning that, we're putting in a new meter system and new lights and new benches, and all these things are being improvements to the pond hall. So these are all cost money, so we have
Of course.
to, yeah.
So you're justifying the increases in,
No, those numbers are from the 60s and 70s, those you can't even find a meter anymore that takes a nickel.
Yeah.
Ours takes a nickel.
Your meters on the street are going up a quarter.
despite my fiscally conservative Republicans here, and it seems like the residents are paying quite a bit just to park in the pond hall.
Well, one way or the other, the residents are paying, because we expended over $1 million to redo a parking lot that used to flood on a consistent basis. So you're talking about what you got for your free parking in the back of the pound hole was an inadequate parking lot. And now we have a parking lot that honestly, exactly right, like, you go to any municipal parking lot in any town that has anything going on in the downtown, you're paying for it. It's not 1960 Pompton Lakes anymore. There's a cost to those capital improvements, there's a cost to doing business, and, that's the thing. Pompton Lakes is becoming a destination for residential, for shopping. The idea of handing out free parking just because that's where it used to be, just doesn't make any sense anymore.
The drainage problem has been solved.
That was part of the fix of the pond hole, yeah.
They were talking about originally putting a pipe through underneath White Canal and draining out. That was never installed, correct?
It wasn't installed, but they fixed the connection where it was broken. It was sunken and they raised it up.
So it's draining now to the river.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just want to reflect that Council President Polidori came in at 7:45.
Is it filming now?
Yes.
Oh, we're back up. Okay, good.
We're
So it's
back
working.
up,
Good.
7:45.
Okay, thank you. Motion to close the meeting for public comments on ordinance 22-15. Motion. Councilman Bennett. Second? Second. Councilman Cruz. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion to approve ordinance 22-15 for final adoption. Motion. Councilman Bennett.
Second.
Councilman Begg, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Polidori.
Yes.
Councilman Bennett.
Yes.
Councilman Bay.
Yes.
Councilman Cruz.
Yes.
Councilman Devine.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kent.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now that we're filming, I'm going to go back to our presentation, and I've asked Councilman DeWine to read a proclamation that I have been put out. So if you don't mind reading that?
Can they go Brian?
Yeah, wherever you want, here, there.
Actually, I'll just do it. All right, so Office of the Mayor proclamation. Whereas the Borough of Pompton Lakes is an inclusive community that welcomes diversity and believes in the safety, prosperity, equality, and hope for all who live or work in or visit our borough. And whereas the borough recognizes the human rights of all people and actively supports an end to all forms of prejudice and discrimination based on race, ethnicity, country of origin, religion, gender identity or expression, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental disability, or veteran status. And whereas we affirm that the borough must be a place that respects our differences and believes that diverse perspectives enhance the cultural fabric and overall prosperity of our community for current and future generations. And whereas all human beings should be equal in dignity and rights, and no one should live in fear or face persecution and violence due to their sexual orientation or gender identity. And whereas Pompton Lakes celebrates and encourages diversity, acceptance, and inclusion within our community and supports the self-affirmation, equality, and increased visibility of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. And whereas LGBTQ plus individuals have made and continue to make vital contributions to our nation and heritage, including cultural, scientific, political, civic, educational, economic, and other areas. And whereas while society at large increasingly supports LGBTQ plus equality, it is essential to acknowledge the need for education and awareness remains vital to end discrimination and prejudice. And whereas the Mayor and Council calls upon residents of our community to embrace this principle and work together to foster a warm and hospitable place for all to live. And whereas celebrating Pride Month raises awareness and provides support and advocacy for Pompton Lakes LGBTQ community and fosters dialogue to build understanding and acceptance and advance equal rights for all residents. Now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Pompton Lakes in the state of New Jersey that June 2022 is recognized as Pride Month in Pompton Lakes, and that our residents continue to respect all fellow human beings, irrespective of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
Thank you. Okay, under my report, we all attended the Memorial Day Parade, or most of us, and it was a big hit. You know, our new administrator happily marched with us. I have to thank Bob McGrady for putting this all together. He's done this now for 40 years.
49.
49 years. 49 years, and his father did it for 20 or 25 years before that. You know, that's a long time to be doing anything, and he does a great job, and it was nice to see all the residents out and about this month. It was a beautiful day, and a lot of residents, more than we've ever had, came out to support it, so I thank everybody who was involved with that. It was really a nice night and a nice day. Along with a lot of the council, I attended the grand opening of Empire Liquors. We thank them for their hospitality and wish them good luck. I did receive the COVID numbers for last month. We did have a high number of COVID. It was 128 cases in the 1 month. That was one of our higher months in the last 6 or 8 months. That being said, there were no deaths and very few hospitalizations from them, but 128 was a large number. I do still go online and check the state numbers, and the numbers are on the decline now. The bump, as they would call it, has reached its max about a week and a half ago and is slowly on the way down. It's all good news, all good things happening there. So, even though I don't do my reports anymore, we still have to keep in mind COVID is still out there and to be cautious of it. What else do I have? I attended an Eagle Scout ceremony for Guy, I forgot his last name. He did the, Allegri. He did a great job with the monument at the Joe Louis Memorial. He got his Eagle Scout. I congratulated him. It was a nice event. I attended a stigma-free meeting back in person again last week. They have some ideas of moving forward, and one of the suggestions I made to them is they need to explain what stigma-free is to a lot of people. A lot of people ask me, they see the signs in towns, but have no idea what it even means. So I think they should start with just a basic explanation of what that is. And they like that idea, so I think they're gonna try to educate the public at least of what that is. And then I got an interesting call for all Walking Dead fans, which I happen to be one of. They've decided that they might want to use our town for a new series that will be starting, a spin-off of The Walking Dead. And they're not going to use it permanently. It would represent a town in Virginia that takes place 10 years after Walking Dead started. And they wanted to know if we would give them permission to maybe use the library and the library lawn for a couple days of shooting. I said I didn't have any problem with it. I would bring it up to the council, but I did tell them those are county roads. They have to reach out to the county to make that happen. They would, of course, replace any damage that was done to the library or to the grounds. And if it worked out and it became, they love the town, they love the building, they love the historic look of the library, I will tell you that it might be a gallow that might be hanging there at one point. But they were very excited to come here, so I just wanted to throw it out there to the council. Does anybody have any concern with that, or?
I need
It's
to
awesome. Would be
Awesome.
I will get everybody down there for pictures if we can get to that. For the people who were here long enough, In and Out, the movie was filmed here in the high school, and I was part of that when it happened there too. And, it was a big deal that the movies were here, and they did a great job in replanting everything around the high school, and it was a very exciting time when that all happened.
Really
In and
was.
Out
In and
with
Out.
Kevin Kline and
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. And then just recently we had, what's his name? The guy from Seinfeld, the
Jerry
father.
Seinfeld's father.
Yes, what's his name?
I can't think of his name.
Stiller, not Ben Stiller, his father.
His father.
Jerry Stiller, I think it is. Jerry Stiller came and filmed the movie here downtown. So I happen to have a friend who works in the movie department in LA. He's an attorney, and he said I should reach out to my attorney and let him know we do not have any permits in place for filming in Pompton Lakes, but it's something we should maybe think about.
Okay.
And he said there should be fees involved with that.
Yes, there is.
Right now, there are no
Put that in
fees involved with that, so it's something maybe we want to talk about.
Sure, I can send you an example of the town I work for, because we do have something along those lines.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So everybody's okay with that idea, though?
Yes.
I will pass it on, I said that she was gonna come and scout it out again, and then give us a final determination when they took a look at it, so we'll see how that goes. But that's exciting news, I thought. And I did have a meeting with Meridian just to find out how their project's going downtown, and they promised me, and look, I live pretty close to where they're putting that in, that pounding is loud, there's no question, it is very, very loud. We happened to go to Tony's to eat while it was going on, and it seems like the world is ending when you were sitting in that building. He hopes that it should be all done in 2 weeks, and then they would be done with what the pilings is what they're putting in the ground now, and then they would start with sewer and construction on the cement. So hopefully the noise that you're hearing for the next 2 weeks will stop, and they'll move forward with that. But at least it's progress, and they're moving forward, and they're starting to build, so that's all good things. And that is my report. Council President Polidori.
Thank you, Mayor. I just came from the scholarship award ceremony, which took place in person again after not being able to meet for 3 years. So it was nice to have all of the students and groups in town that contribute to the scholarships there to present. I was asked to present on behalf of the Republican Club, Rotary, and the middle school PTA. And that's just one of many school activities now as we roll through the end of June. We have the kids back in person for everything. Our 8th grade dance was a huge success. We have some graduations coming up. It's been a great year for me. I was the president of the Lakeside PTA, so I had the opportunity to work very closely with the schools and the students in bringing a lot of these in-person activities back. I think we did the best we could to give them the best last year experience that they could for the 8th grade class in middle school. So it was an honor to be able to be a part of that. The parade was excellent. Bob McGrady does a good job every year. Look forward to the big 50th celebration next year. And you may or may not have noticed, but they did demo and start to install the new equipment at Pacifico Gallo. So we will be discussing that at open space tomorrow night, and Councilwoman Kent and I met earlier in the week to look through some of the entries for the contest for naming the frog. We narrowed it down to a selection of a few from each school so that yourself and the rest of open space can look through them and make a decision tomorrow night. And then hopefully we'll be able to have a conversation about scheduling a ribbon cutting so we can ask the families of the winners to come down and participate in that. So I look forward to seeing that. We worked really hard on that. The equipment looks great. It should be done, if not today, tomorrow, hopefully. So we'll go down and take some more pictures. And that is my report.
Thank you. I gotta say, the 8th grade dance, I always say that this town goes out of their way to do a nice 8th grade dance. And I'm sure this year I wasn't there, but I think your son graduated this year, right?
He said it was the best day he's had in school all year.
Okay, so that speaks volumes right there.
We had an 8'5" dancing me on a robot come in.
Had that at my daughter's wedding. I know exactly who he is.
So it was great.
But I always hear good things, and it's a lot of hard work, and I thank all the people that put that together, and all the parents that go out and put that together. All of us on the dais, or most of us have been through that already, and they spend a lot of time and energy putting that together, so I thank them all. Councilman Begg.
Thank you. I received the Pompton Lakes Police Department report for the month of May 2022 from Chief Derek Clark. There were 2,602 calls for service for the month of May. There were 485 motor vehicle stops, 292 summonses issued, 4 DWI arrests, 27 motor vehicle accidents investigated, 61 ambulance calls, 20 alarm conditions burglary, no alarm conditions fire, 2 burglaries, 4 thefts, no sexual assaults, no aggravated assaults, 15 domestic violence calls investigated. The Detective Bureau investigated 10 complaints, conducted 10 background checks for firearm permits, completed 1 raffle and 0 bingo application, and 8 background checks for the military and police agencies. I received the CERT report from CERT Supervisor Deborah Ross. She reports that the CERT team had a total of 43.25 volunteer hours for the month of May 2022. I received the Pompton Lakes Riverdale First Aid Squad report for the month of May 2022 from Chief Mark Sony. There were 102 calls for service for the month of May. There were 52 calls in Pompton Lakes, 27 calls in Riverdale, 20 calls in Wanacue. There were 63 emergency calls, 16 trauma calls, 2 CPR calls, no motor vehicle accident calls, and 2 fire calls. And that's pretty good.
Thank you. I forgot to give the note, was handed to me that I did not read, so I'm sorry. Just for everybody's curiosity, the calendars will be mailed out the last week of June. You should be receiving them at the end of the week, beginning of July. Please don't call the office on the first day of July 1st. You will get a calendar. If it gets to the first or second week of July, give us a call. We'll get you a calendar. But every resident that has an address in town will have a calendar mailed to them by the end of the week. And I got to thank Liz and the office staff for putting it all together. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of information. People who spend the time to read the whole calendar can learn a lot about the town just from everything that we do. So it's a lot of work, and we thank you for doing that. Councilman Cruz.
Thank you, Mayor. I was not able to attend the Board of Ed meeting last night because I was attending the Lakeside Middle School Spring Concert. Along Councilman Venner was there as well, and I must say it was just a really great concert for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. For me, the highlight was they played the Marvel theme song, so I think all the dads kind of just lost themselves a little bit during that session. But overall, it was great. It was great to see the kids over the years just kind of master their equipment or their instrument as they go into, some of them, their final year. I know Katie obviously is into her final year. So it was really great. They do have additional shows are going to be upcoming on Thursday, Spring Concert 2, and that's going to be at 6:30 p.m. And I think that's it for that. Now, for BOE, there was nothing pressing. I did reach out to the Board of Education President Schwartz, and there was nothing pressing with the district, so there was nothing new to report there. And the last few items that I have here are just basically from the Recreation Committee, and these are just reminders. You have the middle school summer camp for 2022. The dates are July 5th through the 15th, and that's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for grades 7, 8, and 9. The cost is $150. And then you have summer camp as well for grades pre-4 to 6. And that is going to be June 27th to July 29th, and that's at Hirschfield Park from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Field hockey camp, that's going to be starting on June 27th through July 1st. That's from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's going to be held at the Lakeside Turf Field for grades 1st through 8th. The registration fee for that is $80. And this is interesting. Maybe I didn't see it before, but they have summer volleyball. Okay, and that's actually pretty good. And this is adults, so you guys may actually see me out there. And that's going to be June 28th to August 16th, Tuesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m. at Hirschfield Park. And that'll do it, Mayor, for my report.
Thank you. Just to remind the residents that we're already at 140 or so campers this year, which is a large number. Do not wait till last week to register your child for summer camp. One, we can't guarantee that they'll be able to get in, and two, they might not start right away if we were, because we don't have a group for them. I know that, everybody waits to the last minute to do everything, but if you think your child is going to go to summer camp, you should start registering them now. Waiting till the day before probably will just get them in very late, if at all they can get in. So keep that in mind. Councilman Devine.
Thank you, Mayor. I mean, the Memorial Day parade, that we had a couple weeks ago was just a phenomenal event. It was good to, again, another event to have back in person. And what stood out to me, the number of years that we've been doing this, the amount of residents that came out this year was just awesome. It was so great to see so many people lined up along Colfax Avenue, waving the American flag, waving to our veterans in the VFW, waving to our police department, and just seeing the community out at large, and what was a beautiful day. And then having the barbecue at the VFW at the end as well. So again, thank you to the VFW and Bob McGrady in particular, for organizing that event. Mayor, this month, we just recognized Pride Month, and it's a little unusual to have a council person read a proclamation, but this is something that I've had conversations with all the council people on about the importance of it. So I want to thank all of you for your support on this proclamation. I have relatives, I've got friends, former veterans of mine that are part of that LGBTQ community. I've seen them be amazing, and I've also seen the downside of not being recognized for being who they are. So that's why it's been important to me. Do consider myself a strong advocate, so it meant a lot to be able to read it tonight. So thank you. On another note, starting, I've actually on Friday, at the Smiling Rhino, they'll be doing a production of Wizard of Oz for the next 3 weeks. It's the 100th birthday of Judy Garland, so I think that's partly why they're doing it. And I will be in particular looking for a little munchkin in the cast. So it sounds like it's going to be an amazing production. I definitely recommend everybody buy tickets. I think they are selling out pretty quickly, but they will be playing for the next 3 weekends at the Rhino Theater on Montague Avenue. And then lastly, we hear about the events, the eighth grade dance and things like that. The school is letting out. That means there will be more kids walking, biking, playing on the streets. As I've done before, if you're driving around town, be considerate of people doing that. Drive the speed limit, be careful, because again, the kids aren't going to be, in school during the daytime. They're going to be enjoying the summer, so please be careful. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. And, they do some great shows there. And coincidentally enough, my daughter, who's getting married this Saturday, played a flying monkey back when she was your daughter's age at that theater for the same show. So I'm glad they're still doing those shows. That's always a popular show, that Wizard of Oz show. And look, if you haven't been to a show down there, it's worth the event. It's 50 to 75 people watching a show at one time, really close up, and you really get involved in the whole show. It's just, they do a great job. And they've probably been in town at least 20 years, maybe more. So I got to thank them. They don't get thanked enough. To have a live theater in your downtown is a big deal. And a lot of the developers that come look at our town, one of the reasons they like our town is having a live theater downtown. So it does make a difference. So we thank her, and we wish her good luck in her performance. Councilwoman Kent.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just if you noticed, if you were watching the video, we were all looking underneath the thing here, and we weren't looking for our mouse or anything, but we knocked a bunch of wires loose, and Liz lost her video, so that's what we were doing under there.
Well, they wouldn't see it because the video was there.
Oh, that's right. I was hoping they would. But if you did, that's what was happening. Okay. I have a report from the DPW superintendent. Just a reminder that brush collection for both sides of the town will end on July 1st. So if you have brush to get rid of after July 1st, you will need to take it to the recycling center located on the corner of Ivy and Grove Streets. The price for tire recycling at the recycling center is going to be increased due to the cost of the borough. For just a tire, one tire, the cost will be $3, and the cost for a tire on the rim will be $6, and that'll be for disposal.
So let's get that straight. It went up 50 cents, correct?
He just said it went up.
I just dropped the tire off last week, it was $2.50.
Oh, okay, so it's gone up 50
All right, I
cents.
think we can handle it.
Okay, oh, everything's going up, I guess. New playground pieces are being installed at that Pacifico Gallo Park on Midland Avenue, and the park will be closed until they are finished with all the new features, once they've completed the installation, and the installation is done by the contractor. And I think we're doing the, we're doing the earth underneath, right? We're doing the fill.
The contractor called me today. I think they put the last couple pieces in, and then Dan is going to do the mulching.
He's gonna do the mulching, okay. So once that's done, then they'll reopen the park, and then we'll have our opening. So just please bear with us on that. Okay. I had a offer for additional trees from Mr. Steiner. Mr. Steiner is the gentleman who put in all the new trees down at the Katie Quigley Cole Park. He offered additional trees. However, because we're a little shy with DPW staff right now, I asked that he hold off on that offer until a later date, and hopefully that we can get trees donated maybe either this fall or maybe next spring. And I think that will work fine. But in the meantime, our DPW's been really trying very hard to keep up with all the parks and the mowing and of course garbage and everything else they have to do, but they are short of staff. But we may have some more trees coming in for that park. So that'll just be put on hold for a little bit. Okay, and yes, as Council President Polidori said, we met on the frog meeting, and that was a lot of fun. It seems that the middle schoolers got a lot of, they're getting a lot of press these days with their dances and their 8th grade dance and the dances that the recreation department is putting on. But I think our little second graders now are going to take the limelight for a little bit and naming this frog at the Pacifico Gallo Park, so it should be a lot of fun. And the drawings were outstanding, and Jen and I had a lot of fun looking at them, so that was a lot of fun. And we'll have that done tomorrow night. I also attended the FAB meeting, and we're happy to say the logs were removed from the dam, so thank you very much, Water Authority, and thank you, Mayor, for pushing that issue. Mr. Hinton, I agree on being melancholy and sentimental about the tolls, the parking meters going up, the money. Unfortunately, it seems that people today want a better place to park. They want nicer accommodations, and that's the only way that we can do it, is just to increase the fees. I don't like increasing fees, but it seems the only way that we can give the residents and the customers what they want when they park in town. I like feeding those nickels in that machine myself, but it's going to be gone in a little while. But I thank you for your comment. And that's my report.
Okay, I'm excited to see what the name of the frog is.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Hopefully it's not Kermit.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of happies, skippies, no Kermit.
Councilman Bennett.
Thank you, Mayor. As you mentioned, most of us were at the Memorial Day Parade. It was very exciting to see all the residents out. I'm not sure it was a combination of gas prices or whether folks are new residents or just home this time, but it was great to see all the residents out along the parade route. I also was at the Riverdale Parade the following day on behalf of the Pompton Lakes High School Marching Band. I was one of the band parents. I had to wheel the bottled water so the kids could stay hydrated. It was a very hot day. That was fun as well. Slightly shorter than our parade, but it was still a nice parade. As Councilman Cruz mentioned, last night was the Lakeside Middle School Spring Concert. They did a fantastic job, especially from where they started at the elementary school with the recorders, and where they basically all sounded the same, and then you see the progression. And I was at a high school concert at one point, and you see where they can go, and it's amazing the difference from elementary school through middle school to the high school. So I'm very happy with our music and arts program here in Pompton Lakes. As Councilman Cruz mentioned, tomorrow night is the Spring Concert Part 2 at the high school at 6:30 p.m. Lastly, Councilman Cruz and I will be chaperoning dozens of middle schoolers on Friday to Dorney Park in Pennsylvania So I wish us and the other parents luck,
Yes, yes.
and let's have a good day. Thank you, and that's my report.
So they do the spring concert now in two parts?
I,
I don't remember, I don't remember it being in
It was
two
short,
parts,
short,
but I will
right?
tell you, I think there were lessons learned on how long
Oh, yeah, you
it
could,
was before.
they can get a little
I
long.
felt it was more manageable this time around, and you really got a chance to appreciate all the grade levels, and they each did about 3 or 4 songs, and it was great. And I think it was the appropriate amount of time, so it was smart in breaking it up into two
No,
parts, I
nice.
think.
it's the jazz band and chorus and dance tomorrow night
Okay.
versus just concert band, I think
Right.
it was last night. So it might be a different group of kids as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Okay, professional reports. Have any report?
I have no report.
No reports? Administrators report.
Thank you, Mayor. The borough is going to apply for the DOT Municipal Aid Grant Transportation. It's the Municipal Aid Grant Program and Transportation Alternative Grant. And in working with Dan, our superintendent, and our engineer, it was concluded that Maple Ave / Dawes Highway from Riverdale Boulevard to River Edge Drive is the one most in need in terms of resurfacing, storm water drainage, catch basin drainage, upgrades, curbing. So that is going to be the application that's going to be submitted. So at next week's meeting, you're going to pass a resolution required by the DOT in order to enter into that grant. The other thing is the borough received its Clean Communities grant money totaling $20,348.66. That money is used for litter abatement, the river cleanup, graffiti abatement, enforcement of litter laws, that kind of a thing. So that's good money, and the borough uses it well in terms of cleaning up and, keeping the town looking good. I know there was some talk about DPW, so I'm happy to say we did get some good applications in. And we're going to start filling seasonals as soon as possible, so I hope to have on the resolution for next meeting, the hiring of our seasonal staff, and then Dan and I will begin the interviews for full-time.
Which is a big deal.
Yes.
Where are
I-
the positions actually posted? Is it on the local newspaper?
Well, we
It's-
don't,
I mean, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's advertised on our social media as well as the League of Municipalities site. So anybody who has applied, if they're listening, they're gonna get a call soon.
and just throwing in essence, we're talking about it, any child that's home from college that's looking for some summer help, what are we paying, 15?
$15 an hour. for the
$15 an hour to
Yeah.
work with the DPW, as minimal as hours to maximum hours that you can do it. There's no number involved. If you're interested, you can come into Borough Hall and fill out an application, or go down to the DPW and fill out an application. We're still accepting,
And they can apply online and submit online.
Right.
They don't even have to, and yes, we'll keep accepting. We're gonna fill positions though as the applications are received.
okay.
Do we have an employment opportunities page on the website?
I don't know, do we?
There
Yes.
is, and
Is there any
I
reason
think
why
it
it
was up.
wasn't linked there?
Yeah,
The
we
reason
should.
why I
Yeah,
say
it's a
is
good
that
idea.
instead of giving 4 different sites to go to, they go to one where the link takes them to where they need to go to.
Yeah.
It just minimizes things.
So maybe we can work on that. Again,
Sure.
Councilman DeWine or Councilman Benning, they have some knowledge on
Yes,
how
there-
that page
there's-
works. So maybe talk to them and they can tell you where it is. I don't even know.
I
where it
believe
is, to
that
be
the
honest.
updated job requisition that I drafted was uploaded on the website, but
Our website.
Perfect. Oh,
Yes,
great.
it
Okay.
is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Was it under there or was it on the front page?
I think we put it
it's under
both
job
places.
opportunities.
Job opportunities, and sometimes we put it on the front page with announcements.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Mayor?
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wonder, what age, do you have to be 18 to work for the DPW? Or can you be 17?
You just have to be old enough to be able to work, but we are, with working papers.
papers,
But
okay.
we are looking for maybe on the little older side, because there are gonna be operating different pieces of equipment, and we just want people to have a little bit of experience in operating some of our equipment,
Okay.
for safety reasons.
In the past, we've tried to look at 18 or older.
Yeah.
I'm sure if a 17-year-old applies,
Yeah, right.
we'll see how they
Okay.
work out.
You know,
In
recent
fact,
high
we
school-
have to consider them, but
Yeah, we'd have to consider.
yeah,
that, right.
we're gonna select the best quality candidate.
Right.
That's it, thank you.
Yep. Oh, okay, and that would be, what else would I say? So I enjoyed walking in the parade. It was really very nice. And I was amazed about all the people dressing up. One woman had signs, and I have so many pictures on my phone as we marched. I really have to post them on our social media because I think the residents will enjoy seeing themselves, what they look like as they watch the parade. So that's it. Other than that, just making progress with all the other items, just catching up on municipal business. And that's all I have to report for tonight.
All right, just so the council knows, the DOT money that she was talking about, that's separate money than, we do have that roads program that was put together by our engineers, the worst, the best roads, and take a couple roads each year and work on them. That's separate from this list. Paul had reached out to me because she was new, rightly so, saying, look, I don't know which roads are in trouble, and she came up with the idea, which was a good one, to involve Dan, because he drives the roads all the time, and, with his help and the engineering's help, identify the road that had to be done. So I think that's where they came up with that road, which is a good road, the drainage is bad there. So I think that's where it came
Yeah,
from.
thank you, Mayor. And it's applicable because the road has to be a connecting road to a main road, like a county road. It can't just be like a side road or anything like that. It has to comply with the grant parameter, and this one is the best fit.
Any questions from the administration? No? Okay. Could I have a motion to open the meeting for public comments?
So moved.
Council
Second.
President Polidori, Councilman Devine, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public like to address? Please step up.
I'm Randy Hinton, 443 Montclair Avenue. You were talking about the employees for the DPW, $15 an hour. Is a 67-year-old, does he qualify?
I don't see
Is there
why.
an age
Please.
limit?
No, please complete an application and we will call you.
I'll sign the bottom of it.
Yeah, you'll definitely sign it, see me in the back of the car. I'd like to see that. Just a question for the Shade Tree Commission. When does summer camp start? We have about a dozen trees to remove in Hirschfield Park.
What's the date there?
Yep, summer camp begins, so for the little ones, let's see, is there a date on, June 27th to July 29th. And then,
That other one's it's at the middle school.
June
though.
27th?
let me see, is this at the middle?
No, the one you just read is Hirschfield, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one for Hirschfield, it's from June 27th to July 29th. And that's the one.
Yeah, you can't do any work down there at all at that time.
From what time to what time?
It is from 9 AM to 12.
I can do work there after 12.
Yeah, as long as, let's try not to if we had to.
Of course. But I needed that day because we do like have a dozen trees to remove in that area back by the ball. All right, June 27th. We'll try to get in there before that.
That'd be great.
Yep,
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Anyone else from the public like to address? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public session?
So moved.
Council President Polidori, Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Pro to the floor. Anybody pro to the floor? No? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
moved.
Council President Polidori, who was that? Councilman Bennett. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.